Today I've got a short review for a short story, A Martian Odyssey, which I think is without a doubt the foundation that all modern science fiction is built on. Now, I know that's a pretty bold statement, but you don't have to take it from me. You can take it from Isaac Asimov. Ever heard of the guy? You know, probably the most prolific science fiction writer of all time. Set the standard for what science fiction is today. Let's see what he had to say. Isaac Asimov described A Martian Odyssey as a perfect Campbellian science fiction story before John W. Campbell. He goes on to talk about how Campbell had a dictum for writing Aliens that was, write me a creature who thinks as well as a man, or better than a man, but not like a man. And Asimov went on to describe it as one of the three stories that changed the way all subsequent stories in the science fiction genre were written. Those quotes are from The Best of Stanley G. Weinbaum and this bad boy, Asimov on Science Fiction. I'm getting to the point now that I'm owning books that are in the Wikipedia sources. Look at that. That's a collection. I want to use some of this short review to discuss Weinbaum and his very short writing career. He only wrote from 1933 to 1935, and he passed away from lung cancer at 33 years old. It's just super sad. I think that's one of the other things that is so special about these stories. He wrote for so little time, but made such a huge impact on the science fiction genre. Lester Del Rey was quoted saying, Weinbaum, more than any other writer, helped to take our field out of the doldrums of the early 30s and into the beginnings of modern science fiction. There's just a who's who of the early 20th century science fiction writers. All of them have quotes on how Weinbaum is the reason science fiction is the way it is today. And these stories, they prove it. A Martian Odyssey takes place, well, where else? Mars. And it's so cool. You have this main character, Dick Jarvis. He's the ship's American chemist. And he goes out to photograph the Martian landscape. And he just kind of gets lost. And he has to find the ship again. And on his way, he finds Tweel, an alien. And the alien is so unique. Even today, so many people just write aliens as odd humans. But Tweel is completely different. He is humanoid shaped-ish, but the way he thinks, the way they communicate with one another, it kind of comes across that the dumb person might be Dick Jarvis, the scientist. I think Tweel is a lot smarter than he looks, but it gets lost in translation because you're looking through the eyes of Jarvis. Tweel has this weird alien technology as like a gun, and it's really interesting because Jarvis, being the chemist, is like, oh, I wonder how this works. It has to work this way with the gas is created and blah, blah, blah. And I just thought that was really cool and super refreshing. Even today, you don't have enough of a character's viewpoint bleeding into the descriptions of the story. I mean, if we're looking through the eyes of someone, then it needs to have the filter of their personal experiences over it. And A Martian Odyssey does a really good job of doing that. As they're exploring, they're looking along the Martian landscape and they meet these really weird aliens. One of them is like a bioengineered machine that just consumes like mass, like dirt and rocks and stuff, and creates these like silica bricks. And it's like, what is its purpose? Is this some 10,000-year-old biomachine that's still doing its purpose even though its creator has ceased to exist? There's so much there and there's so much depth, and it's written in such a short, tight way that leaves a lot for you to just come up with in your mind. It opens your mind up to exploring these amazing Martian landscapes. Most of this review is going to be over Martian Odyssey because it was the only short story I'd read until I got a hold of this, and I need to spend more time with it. I first listened to an audiobook version of the story, and it was fantastic. And then I picked up this bad boy, which includes a copy of it, along with a ton of the greatest short science fiction ever written. So I will be reviewing this when I finally finish all of them. It's a little thick. I really hope you enjoyed this. I'm not going to dig any deeper into it because it's a short story, but I really hope you give A Martian Odyssey a chance. It really is one of the foundations of modern day science fiction. Go ahead and give me a like and a comment if you've read it. I'd love to talk to anyone about it, and I'll see you next time.